Is a 3D version of the exterior of this building before it was renovated in 2022. The building is now home to the Walmart Museum, Walton's Five and Dime, and the Spark Cafe. 10 touch-activated sensors are embedded throughout the image. Touch the sensors to learn more about those areas of the image. Use the 4 buttons to the right to access a description of the image, a brief history of Walton's Five and Dime, a summary of the building's history, and the story of the Walmart Museum. If you touch a button while the audio is already playing, the current track will be interrupted and a new track will play. Above this control panel is a 3D version of the exterior of this building before it was renovated in 2022. The building is now home to the Walmart Museum, Walton's Five and Dime, and the Spark Cafe. 10 touch-activated sensors are embedded throughout the image. Touch the sensors to learn more about those areas of the image. Use the 4 buttons to the right to access a description of the image, a brief history of Walton's Five and Dime, a summary of the building's history, and the story of the Walmart Museum. If you touch a button while the audio is already playing, the current track will be interrupted and a new track will play. The Walmart Museum is as much a part of Walmart's history as the exhibits and the artifacts inside. Though this location was never a Walmart, it is the site of Sam's second store and the first to bear his name. The museum consists of 2 buildings, the Terry Block Building and Walton's Five and Dime. The 2-story Walton's building was built sometime before the Terry Block Building, Colonel Block's dry goods store, which was built in 1888 and was Bentonville's first 3-story commercial building. The 2 buildings housed a bank, a barber shop, an ice cream shop, a bookstore, and more before becoming the Walmart Visitor Center in 1990. In 1950, Sam and Helen Walton, with their children Rob, John, Jim, and Alice, moved to Bentonville to reestablish their Ben Franklin Five and Dime franchise in a new small town after their lease in Newport, Arkansas wasn't renewed. Bentonville was a short drive from Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas, where Sam could enjoy an extended quail hunting season, as well as be closer to Helen's family. Sam purchased Luther Harrison's variety store on the town's central square and was so confident in his store, which he named Walton's Five and Dime, that within a year of opening, he bought the barbershop next door to expand his business. He held his grand reopening on March 15, 1951, and stayed in business until July 27, 1966, when he moved the store 1 block north to a larger space and renamed it Walton's Family Discount Center. In 1990, Sam Walton wrote about the opening of the Walmart Visitors Center in a letter to associates, thanking them for their work and dedication. He said, "As you can imagine, many have worked hard to make this center a reality. We believe it will be interesting to everyone, regardless of age. This is your center, so stop by any time with your family and take a tour. We're awfully proud of it, and I think you'll be pleased with it as well." As we continue to write chapters in the Walmart story and accumulate greater records of achievement, who knows? We may even have to enlarge the Visitors Center and relocate it to more spacious accommodations. I will leave that decision to you, my friends. I'm confident we have the potential and certainly we have the opportunity. Thanks so much for your support. Your friend, Sam Walton. In 2009, the Visitors Center was temporarily moved to a neighboring building while renovation work was done to preserve both the Walton's Five and Dime building and the adjacent Terry Block building, which comprise the museum complex today. The renovated and renamed Walmart Museum was unveiled in a ribbon-cutting ceremony in May of 2011. But like all older buildings, restoration was again necessary. In the fall of 2022, the museum closed its Bentonville Square location and began a multi-year expansion and restoration. A temporary museum was opened in the Ledger Building 2 blocks south of the square. After reopening in 2025, the museum now combines carefully researched historical exhibits with modern technology, showcasing Walmart's proud past and bright future.
Sam's Club. All stores everywhere.
You guys take a guess at whose pickup truck this was? Yes.
It was here he began to believe he could build a successful business by bringing a broad assortment of high-quality merchandise at discounted, everyday low prices to smaller towns and families across America. This building was originally built in 1888. Sam moved in 1950. In 1990, it was transformed into our visitor center, an endeavor that Sam described as a labor of love that resulted in a work of art. In 2012, it morphed from a visitor center to a museum, and now in 2025, it's reborn as a new structure celebrating its history. We've hosted a lot of associates and visitors over the years, people wanting to understand how a humble, curious, hardworking retailer named Sam laid the foundation for a company that he hoped would not only help people save money, it would help them live a better life. This museum is a testament to our associates around the world who bring our purpose and culture to life. The things you see today celebrate their accomplishments, their contributions to our world, and their service to our customers and members. We're grateful to all of you. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy your visit.
I think that this is a time for me to step up again, for all of us to step up and do what we can. And of course, today I wanted to announce that for myself personally, just from my own bank account, I'm donating $1 million today. But there's a lot to be done, and we're trying to find other ways to even raise more funds, but also with our my Dollywood companies and all the people I'm involved with Dollywood and Eugene and all of the partners that we have with our Stampede, and of course the Pirates Voyage, and of course the Dollywood Foundation. And we've added another $1 million to that 1 million. So we're starting out with a good little hunk. And like I said, we're trying to find other new ways to make money, because it's going to take a lot of money, as you know, and it's going to take a long time. Of course, we got other people. We were in Arkansas this morning working on some things that we're going to be doing with Walmart, and I know how helpful all of you are to try to help all these wonderful people. And everybody shops at Walmart, so you better be doing something good for us.
We are. And Dolly, thank you for being here. It's really an honor and a privilege that you decided to join us today. You know, Dolly is a true American legend. That's right. And not just for the music, the art, the business, but because of her heart.
The Committee of Freedom, presented to Sam Walton by President George H.W. Bush on March 17, 1992, as well as a photo of Sam receiving the medal from President Bush. 8 touch-activated sensors are embedded throughout the image. Touch the sensors to learn more about those portions of the image. Use the 4 buttons on the right to access a description of the image, a summary of the Medal of Freedom ceremony, an excerpt of President Bush's remarks, and a section of Sam's acceptance speech. If you touch a button while the audio is already playing, the current track will be interrupted and a new track will play. On March 17, 1992, in a packed auditorium at the Walmart home office, President George H.W. Bush presented the Medal of Freedom to Sam Walton. The Medal of Freedom is the highest honor that a sitting president can bestow upon a private citizen, an honor that Sam didn't take lightly. Traditionally held at the White House, Sam wanted his ceremony to be held in Bentonville, surrounded by his associates. So many wanted to attend this historic event that a lottery was held for places in the 800-plus seat auditorium. The entire Walton family, Mr. Sam's wife Helen, his children, grandchildren, and his brother Bud, were there to share this special day. President George H.W. Bush began by saying why everyone was gathered that day.
We come here to honor a man who shows that through hard work, vision, and treating people right, many good things can happen.
He recognized Mr. Sam and Helen Walton as
the outstanding example of American initiative and achievement. He helps make good citizens of his people by encouraging them to help one another. It's not hard to see why they believe in the company, and it's just plain easy to see why they believe in its unpretentious leader. His nation honors him today as the outstanding example of American initiative and achievement.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Sam M. Walton, an American original. Sam Walton embodies the entrepreneurial spirit and epitomizes the American dream. Concern for his employees, a commitment to his community, and a desire to make a difference have been the hallmarks of his career. By sponsoring scholarships from Latin America, he has also worked to bring people closer together and to share with others the American ideals he so well represents. A devoted family man, business leader, and statesman for democracy, Sam Walton demonstrates the virtues of faith, hope, and hard work. America honors this captain of commerce as successful in life as in business.
What's your story?
As I look back, I realize that ours is a story about the kinds of traditional principles that made America great in the first place. It is a story about entrepreneurship and risk and hard work and knowing where you want to go and being willing to do what it takes to get there. It's a story about believing in your idea, even when maybe some other folks don't, and about sticking to your guns. But I think, more than anything, it proves there's absolutely no limit to what plain, ordinary, working people can accomplish if they're given the opportunity and the encouragement and the incentive to do their best. Because that's how Walmart became Walmart. Ordinary people joined together to accomplish extraordinary things.
Okay, Can you tell us how Walmart got crazy in the early days?
Well, back in the early days, word was starting to get out that we had some interesting retailing ideas. We tried literally to create a carnival atmosphere in our stores. We were only in small towns then, and often there wasn't a whole lot else to do for entertainment that could beat going to the Walmart. David Glass, who eventually became our CEO, drove down from Springfield to see Walmart opening. He said it was the worst retail store he had ever seen. In a nutshell, I had brought a couple of trucks of watermelons in and stacked them on the sidewalk, and we had a donkey ride out in the parking lot. Well, it was about 115 degrees, and the watermelons began to pop, and the donkey began to do what donkeys do, and it all mixed together and ran all over the parking lot. And when you went inside the store, the mess just continued, having been tracked in all over the floor. I'm pretty sure David wrote us off completely at the time, but I finally talked him into joining Walmart.
It took him 12 years to convince. Can you tell us the hula on Wall Street story?
1984. That was the year I lost a bet to David Glass that we couldn't possibly produce a pre-tax profit of more than 8% when most everybody else in the retail industry was averaging about half that. And I had to pay up while wearing a grass skirt and doing the hula on Wall Street. I thought we'd slip down there and dance, and David would videotape it so he could prove to everyone back that Saturday morning meeting that I really did it. But when we got there, it turned out David had hired a truckload of real hula dancers and ukulele players, and he had alerted the newspapers and TV networks, and we had all kinds of trouble with the police about permits, and the dancers union wouldn't let them dance without heaters because it was so cold. Eventually, though, I slipped on the grass skirt and the Hawaiian shirts and the leis over my suit and did what I think was a pretty fair hula. It was too good a picture to pass up. My feeling is that just because we work so hard, we don't have to go around with long faces all the time, taking ourselves seriously, pretending we're lost in thought over weighty problems. At Walmart, if you have some important business problem on your mind, you should be bringing it out in the open so we can all try to solve it together. But while we're doing all this work, we like to have a good time. It's sort of a whistle while you work philosophy. And we not only have a heck of a good time with it, we work better because of it. We build spirit and excitement. We capture the attention of our folks and keep them interested, simply because they never know what's coming next.
Can you talk about the importance of integrity and honesty at Walmart?
History has taught us that the spirit of any organization is created at the top by our servant leaders. If a store or organization or distribution center has great spirit, it's because the spirit of the people at the top is great. We had a district manager who found out that the associates were just stealing rampant throughout the store and letting the customers steal too, because no one had set any controls. If you wanted to steal, you knew you wouldn't get caught. So they started checking on all those things, and they started talking about integrity, and they talked about improving sales. Within a year and a half, this store was turned around completely. The shrink was down to 2%. It started turning a profit, and when I went in there to visit, I think it was one of the proudest moments I've had in 40 years of visiting almost 2,000 stores. Within our company and within the heart of any person who does well, those basic qualities of honesty and integrity are so very important for this partnership to continue to work.